So, welcome to your first class at HPTI. I'm Scott Sandland. You're going to be seeing a whole lot of me. And I want to talk, before we get into how to hypnotize people or what hypnosis is or any of that, I want to talk about philosophy. Because we're going to run this differently than anything that most of you have been to before for hypnosis. Because we're not looking at this as hypnosis training. Because there's a lot of limitations in the field of hypnosis training. Because the hypnosis training tends to be 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a hotel room. And there's a group of people who already know a little bit about hypnosis. And they come into a place, and because of the limitations of time, the instructor has a system that's pretty well established. He brings somebody up he knows he'll get a good result with. He explains how a technique works. He demonstrates how that technique works. And then you break up into groups and you do the technique with each other. Now, when I teach 2-day classes or 3-day classes or 4-day classes, this is what I do. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying it's the limitations of a hypnosis training are to do it that way. Now, here's the problem with that. You, as the hypnotist, were just shown what this technique is supposed to look like. You, as the hypnotic subject, were just shown what this technique is supposed to look like. So everyone breaks up into groups and does exactly what they were just told to do. And the people respond in pretty close to the same way with the expectation of how this should happen. Then you go back into the real world. You go back to see clients or try this on a family member, and they didn't get the demonstration. And it doesn't work quite the same way. And all of a sudden you say, maybe I did something wrong, maybe I forgot something. You didn't. You just weren't taught something. And that's the limitation of hypnosis trainings as an industry-wide problem. And that's why we're not thinking of this as hypnosis training. We're thinking of this as hypnosis school. And the difference is huge. The difference between hypnosis training and hypnosis school is we're not limited by 3 days in this room. We're not even limited by the 5 days that we're going to be here. We've got 48 weeks. And because we have a year, we can show you that thing that in a traditional training, they just don't have time for. They just logistically don't have time to give you all the information. So because of that limitation, they focus on either theory or technique. Either theory or technique. And there's nothing wrong with either, but you need more of both. And that's what we're hoping to do with HPTI.